Oh, that's kind of cool. I should do that more often. Did you guys see that? Did you guys enjoy that? Hi, Limbo. Welcome, Matt Stanky, Speed Demon, Danny, if you're still here. What's up? Joyous day. Joyous day. We've come here. Is that? What is that? Is that my wall? Ew, gross. Ew. There we go. That was scary? No, you're fine. You're fine. You're more than fine. Not much to really say. It's another Scrim day. Welcome. We've got a plethora of colleges left to compete. You forgot to end prediction in my favor last night. Oh, God, I didn't do the prediction. I said, does USM or Cumberland win this game? University of Southern Mississippi, Cumberland. Wow, congratulations. The 4 people who took Cumberland last night. It was Lock Sanity, Coach Claypool, Tangley Tree, and FPS Aether. My gosh. Well, there you go. I'm going to choose the outcome. We are multi-streaming. So today's a big day. Not only am I doing an absurd amount of co-streaming, I believe this is the first time on TikTok. The bigger thing that we're going to see is I am running with an observer today. Usually I do not run with an observer. My hands are up here, right? So same thing as usual as what we see during Saturdays, Sundays, Fridays, or yesterday if you were here for the ECAC scrims, or the match point final, sorry. The difference is, hopefully, we're going to get a really, really good quality. I'm not exactly 100% sure, but I am marginally sure that I think I've been running it at a little bit of a lower quality this entire time. And so I am much, much more interested to see if this ends up looking good. And it's especially important because, notably, we do have Vessel. Screw the Cancer Scream ruined my 21 stream streak. Hey, I announced it. I announced it. I said on socials, on Twitch, even in Discord, I said, hey, there is going to be an Australian charity stream, you know? And I gotta be honest, it was awful. It was genuinely one of the worst experiences of my life. Every single game, between games, took 30 to 40 minutes. It was trash. I literally was sitting there, I think we started at 2 a.m., and I did not get done till 6 a.m. for 6 games. Kind of crazy. I caught the end, it looked like Zephyr was dead IRL. No, it was bad, dude. And I don't have a problem with Battlegrounds OCE. I really don't. End of the day, though, if you force me to sit there for 6 hours straight, I'm going to be tired. I'm going to be tired. I mean, and it just was not a fun stream. Ultimately, I walked away from that Australian stream feeling horrendous. It ruined my, what's it called? I don't know. It ruined my sleep schedule. Throwback to that time you cast for long shot and had horrible ping. Yo, oh my gosh, that is a deep pull. Pro League APAC South, casting that and just feeling like ever-living shit and not very, very great. Because I was like, it was really weird too, because like Roots and Genome were like, oh, this never happens. This never happens. Because it was like an Apex thing on the same day that was going issue-wise, and it was just such a bad thing. And I'm thankful it's long shot, and like we also weren't on Pro League at the time yet or play Apex. It was rough. You cannot believe I watched that live. LMAO. You watch everything in APAC live. All right. Well, we do have the game starting here. For those of you who are joining us for the very first time, or you have no idea what's going on, it is officially Collegiate Scrims. That's right, college scrims. You've got college teams, and they play against each other in the iron grid that is Apex Legends. I'm Zephyr. I'm a pro caster for the game. You might have seen me some places, probably not ALGS, but all on that. We got plenty of stuff going on later this week in terms of match point finals, semifinals, etc., and big competitions Saturday and Sunday. No way I'm in there. You are in fact in there. Can they hurry this up? I got clinicals at 5 a.m. Lawless, are you in here? Hi, Zephyr. I loved your Omega Strikers work. Yo, Zephyr, those like 3 Omega Strikers gigs you did before that game you died, and the 2 lands you casted. I casted 2 Omega Strikers lands. They were awful. Bellevue waiting on me, the new transfer. Not Koryu. Yeah, you got only Jukesy playing for Bellevue today. Now I'm coach for UVU. My username right now is Squirts Macintosh, so keep an eye out. Ah, yes. Yes, good old Squirts Macintosh playing today for UVU later. Thankfully, I'm only playing 3 games. Guys, where is the passion? Where is the love? Where is the love? Thankfully, I'm only playing 3 games. Bro, I just went from, like, feeling normal and not toasty to absolutely burning the hell up. My gosh. All right. Died and was stuffed like a turkey. All right, the jacket's coming off. No more NOLA jacket. I know you like it. Thankfully, not playing. It's the best we can do. Apparently, Tamu's in this lobby. I literally cannot see them on my screen. Can anybody... Oh, no, they're Team 12. Hydrate, said Swifty. I need to go grab a water. I'm grabbing a water. I'm grabbing a water. Alright, I got water. I don't know where my headphones are. There are my headphones. No, with the shot of hot sauce. There's literally a hot sauce redemption. There, you can spend your points on hot sauce. It's literally down below. Oh, hold on. Scrim quality. Let's get predictions going. Hold on. Start prediction. What's a classic over-under match quality? All right. Over-under match quality, game 1, 4.0. 5 minutes. Why not? I don't know why it's not starting. Are my predictions broken? Guys, predictions might be chalked. I had to change it to 2 minutes. Scrim quality won't be higher than 3.7. Hey, is what it is. Anyways, here's your hydration. You got 2 minutes to get your prediction in. 4.0. Servers are starting. So, real quick before we do that. The baby is asleep. He's a silly little baby. and he is all asleep. He's just a little guy. He's just a little guy. For those of you who can't see it, it's Lewis, my little kitten. Well, he is, as you'll notice in his pen, he has some little paper-safe litter, and he is going to learn how to use a litter box soon. So his litter box training is beginning because he's 3 weeks old. Those brown Cheetos are like litter pellets. Okay? So he's litter training soon, and it's good to keep it in the pen because that's where he'll learn. So far, not enough bets on the over-under. 40 seconds to go. Get your points in. This is the option of a lifetime here. 4.0 quality for the scrim score is not something I would say, shocked to see or dis-see as we go through it. All right, so already right off the bat here, Southeastern Blue going to be starting as a duo for the day. I'm not quite sure who that is behind my face, as well as who's behind on the other one. But you know what? Job done. Whoever it is, best of luck. You still got quite a few rosters here across the board. Notably, we'll look towards the premier ones. Teams like the Minnesota State Mavericks, University of Hawaii, Texas A&M Maroon, etc. Those are going to be the most impactful themes. All right, guys. Restart incoming. They got some of the drops wrong, I think. Please don't. Please don't. No restart. No restart, please.
We should scout that area.
We'll see how it goes here as time at least sets itself up.
We should see what's up over here.
All good? All right. Well, we'll see how things go. We did try a couple of new settings on the stream quality, so let me know. God dang it, I knew it! God dang it! Why'd they wait? Why'd they drop it? Why'd they drop it so damn late? I swear, they literally just reeled me in piece by piece there, and then they said, nope, screw it. I told you. I know you told me, but I was still marginally surprised at that. Remake the match quality? No. I should get 10K channel points. No, the match quality, mind you, or well, for predicting, yeah, maybe. If you're that good at predicting, maybe. But I will say the match quality has yet to start. All right, we didn't even get to see what the first zone of the day was. All right, I will say you're a very, very risky individual if you're already putting in over, because Bellevue is here today. Of course, we do have some fill-in like pseudo tier 2 and female rosters here. Of course, Illusions, Daxon, Anthem, and Sweet Pea. R5R, you can see that down there in the bottom right. Nikosu, Tioret, and Cosmo. Those aren't even, like, yes, Daxon plays for Florida State University. Nikosu, long-term history with San Jose University, right? But the rest of those rosters, I mean, that is not like your full SCC as you see him showing up. Purdue Black up there, Oklahoma, etc. You know? So match quality is, I don't know. Maybe it's a swing, a hit and a miss, a whatever. No more passion? Hey, I will say this. Today, I heard Scrim Saver's about to run this lobby. All right. Yeah, cryptically habaneros and Namer rhyme. Yeah, probably not. But I respect the desire. Remember, the draft for the Zephyr tournament is late Wednesday evening, right? Very, very late Wednesday evening. This is kind of like your last opportunity to prove to people that, like, you have value. I think that's the best thing I can say. Hold on. Pear is asking if he can choose Fiddle in the draft. Must be across Collegiate. What's a conspiracy you think is true? What is a conspiracy you think is true? I'm not very conspiracy ridden. I'm a pretty like unbased gentleman. If I get picked tier 20 in the draft, I'll be playing Mirage. Unleash my inner Kamal. Not the worst option ahead, bro. Alright. Not an issue. Is Zephyr still alive? Yeah, I'm still alive. Why would I be dead? Who is asking that in chat? Alright. I'll say this, by the way. Bear with us in terms of the recording and the essence and the flow of this stream quality today, because doing our best to test out a couple of new softwares, and maybe they're good, maybe they're not. All we can do is wait and see. Meanwhile, me scratch my nose. Pretty good. So far, we got good connection. Hello, Zephyr. I don't know why you throw in that that F in there, but what up? I just swapped to captain. I've heard too many throwers. No, Bellevue's in scrims today, by the way. Bellevue over there in Team 6. For those of you who've never seen them, Jukesy, Muffins, and Voddery, the height of Collegiate thus far, did win out the Premier Match Point Finals, and now going into this weekend are the team to beat, right? They've won the Octane Pro Talent Kickoff, and they also additionally won the Premier. Now we're going to see if they win them all. Muffins is peak. Muffins is peak. So they'll be starting off in the pylon to start here. And all right, guys, I'm gonna let the game play out a little bit. But the biggest question I have for those of you in chat is, how does it look? How does it feel? Is it good? Is it bad? What do we think? This is definitely the question of the lifetime here. You look and feel great. First of all, not inside you. Second of all, not what I asked. All right. Who are you and what have you done with Zephyr? Nice to meet you. My name is Benjamin Fawcett, and I love no, that's a classic. That's a classic Zephyr line. There is no Benjamin Fawcett line.
Enemies, optics here. Close range. Always better than iron sights.
Looks amazing on my 2-inch phone window. Great.
Send that for me, please.
All right, that's the bare breast minimum. I mean,
Shield cell here.
is there like anybody on PC to tell me if this was worth it? Because it honestly was a lot to set up the slight differences that you might not be seeing right now.
Evo harvesters are now available.
I mean, we kind of gotta wait till things fight out. Zone's pulling up towards the kind of midsection there. Potential wall finishes maybe towards the Cascade side. We'll see how it finishes out. There you go. Secondary zone already up on the map there. It is the wall finish. So Florida Gators and the R5R roster will have first pickings with Minnesota and the Hawaii squad not far away. It's noticeably better. Thank you so much. Matt Stanky. You get as much pudding as you can consume. Alright, so we have Illusions, by the way, playing today. So we'll see how the girls get it done here in the lobby. Not a stereotypical roster, usually playing the women's scene for Apex Legends. They will be on their way quite quickly, hopefully, to the wall area. But we'll see where they find themselves. The UCF Jits not far behind here. It's your Sloshy Medusa and someone's name I can't even read today. But there you go. Already Illusions pressuring them back for now. They're going to keep rotating out of this one with a little bit of damage back onto Anthem here, and will be on their way to zone. And more importantly, that Evo cash out on the other side here. Hawaii, Florida Gators, only 2 in the tier 2. Meanwhile, R5R looking for this push towards the north pad. They got to be careful. Texas A&M Maroon is not far away here, down towards Ferrari, so the longer they invest in this fight, the more likely we will see the TAMU or even Oklahoma squad, who is much closer now that I take a look. Both Texas A&M or Oklahoma could push into this. We'll give it some time. Illinois State Redbirds, not going to be sure if they're long for this world. It's a beautiful steal with the tactical there from Cosmos. Doesn't get the full thirst as the zip line's going to procure them for their safety. Couple of peaks around the edge tight. Makes it difficult to try and sustain this. There's the port play up above, but it's traded for a drop down to the low ground. Even still, they'll go to a wipe onto Levinson, and a confusing Mirage ultimate at that. Finally, single shots down to put Lex in the grave here for R5R. They will send Illinois State Redbirds out as the very first team eliminated. Oklahoma pass on right on by, and Texas A&M head for the wall to begin with. Meanwhile, we'll jump on over towards the other side of the map on Lagoon. Scrim Savers finding a nice full cleanup there against Techi from the UCF Knights. Not the Jits, the Knights. They're going to be, as a duo, trying to rotate through the back end there. Oh, so much. Like I said, Illusions had that early priority quite definitively, so they're already going to get the ball for now. Purdue Black not far and away. Texas A&M could look for this take against Purdue, but it isn't the most confirmed of rotations here. I'd like to see them get out of this. The building towards the northwestern side is Springport. Oh yeah, Scream does look legit good. Oh, we're selling. We're doing great. All right, UVU's Blackguard with the knockdown on the Ideas here for Southeastern Oklahoma. A quick peek around the back means double knocks and double drops. Southeastern, one of the few squads that do start inner lobby here today as a duo, are deleted. Meanwhile, for the UCF Jets, it doesn't seem like any UCF roster success here. A beautiful Sparrow ultimate at that will bring them down, and a couple long-range shots from Muffins seals the deal. Your face is blurry, but that might be my internet. Honestly, if the game looks good, I'll take my face looking like pudding and a half. Looks terrible, and I hope Lewis chews your cables. I'm gonna be honest with you, I am genuinely terrified for when that cat starts roaming around this room. I have so many cables everywhere, and I hope he does not kill himself. All right, SCC Green, Rusty, Lucky, Abez. Places within the mill. You can see Abez and Rusty already looking for this push here. Port trade play off of the altar to the interior, and they've already rotated out of this one. Granted, to where is the question? Yeah, you're point blank with nowhere to go here. Rusty taking the brunt of damage back for SCC. They don't actually have as good as a start as I would have expected here against CSUN Esports Black. The CSUN roster, I mean, they are recovering onto the other angle, but for some reason, very tiny hands is making very dumb decisions. Stuck here with nowhere to go, back to the interior. It's a single tick of the caustic gas from Lucky that pins them down. CSUN now are a duo out through the choke. Get that garlic coating thing to put on all your wires to help them taste bad? We'll consider it. We'll think about it. There's a lot of ways to establish what might be the survivability of my kitty cat. 17 spots remaining. Most teams already presenting in the wall here for now. UVU Black, Inkrock, Schmiggles, Badger. Not really a space to play. This is nothing. They're going to have to turn shit into gold here. Tamu Maroon did take that building for R5R. They're doing a great job of testing and holding out that western choke. Jump back on over to the Florida Gators and UVU exchange. Schmiggles was one of those that tried to get themselves set up, but instead is caught out from a distance here. The Florida Gators, it's a 3v2 situation against UVU just below them here. We'll see how it turns out. As I'm a little bit more interested in this Bellevue fight. This Bellevue fight. Yeah, there we go. All right. Point blank with a knock on the Muffins. Minnesota State Mavericks also taking exchange themselves. Going to be playing for that reset there on the speed team. And Newcastle Downs, never the place you want to be, but Bottery is just as quick to reassault there. We barely tune in to the end of that fight. And for Bellevue, they make it look easy. 15 squads remaining, and it is accelerating as fast as can be. Good chunk of our teams are presenting directly into the wall. But hey, best you can do. Now, it looks like UVU Schmiggles is getting a revive all the way out there towards the north. They do have the time, or no, that's the UCF Knights. Meanwhile, Interceder here from Oklahoma, forced to take a little bit of that respite while they sit on the respawn from the beast. I'm joking. Limbo looking mad, or Lewis looking mad good right now. Hello, baby boy? Why you call me baby? What'd I do to be the baby? UVU Black, by the way, just quickly. We talked about them being a duo for so long there. The Florida Gators finished the job, and now still have to defend against the UCF Knights towards their height, and OU behind them, but they should be good. I ain't no baby boy. I'm a baby man. Point blank up on height. The phase has given himself away, and the wall, well, it'll continue to tick for another day here. Techi, Goku Siege from afar. Fried Lewis. Fried catfish. He's not a fish. Bellevue sneaking into wall here. Purdue Black inside this building. You'll see Vatari start off with an exchange. Tries to break that door out on the other side. Quick nade doesn't find its purchase between the wall. And for Vatari, surprisingly missing all of those shots. Uncharacteristic from the GOAT himself. Even still, Purdue, no, they may not be long for this world. Couple smokes on the inside to get rid of the gas traps and pressure this one back. A beautiful Sparrow ultimate, but just as quickly as it comes through, it finds just about nothing here. Couple tick for ticks here. The castle wall will present there over on the corner. Finally, we will break on through after all the utility is done and dusted. It's going to be Jukesy that finds the initial 2 knocks. A new castle reset with the mobile shield, but you're just begging and waiting for them to push in on you in the corner there. Rolling Thunder extended. You hear those revives coming through. One singular castle wall bludgeoned down there. Another quick reset. And for Bellevue University, all it took was additional time. Scrim Sabers not far away. Meanwhile, Texas A&M up north, pressuring Scrim Sabers from the other side. Already down a member. They're going to try to cater to what might be another pickup for Bellevue University. Getting a little clunky there. We're a bit choppy. Hopefully that's just the game. Let's see how it goes. All right. Ultimately, in the end, finishing off the job for Bellevue there. Looks like Texas A&M and Bellevue are able to pick up a mixture of those kills against the Scrim Sabers for now. We'll have to see how it goes here. A couple of teams, CSUN, Esports Red, CSUDH Cardinal, not quite in zone yet. Hold on, folks. I'm getting a buzz. It was project information. Partially important. Margin. Alright. I hate the 45. It's the same for me as flashes for Jeff. What does that mean?
Safety's off, folks. Enemies here.
I don't know quite what that means. Alright. Well,
I do something good this way.
a couple of distant shots here. Yeah, what does that mean?
View of the enemy.
I'm getting spicy. Bellevue has set themselves up in the building out there towards that western side, but with court play available, they are looking towards Illusions as that next fight. Let's see how it goes here. Down below on the low ground. Google phase Jev flashbang raise. Maybe a little bit later on. Illusions holding off for their dear life against the prowess that is Bellevue here. Remember, they did not extend the full roster. So they should have, the way how to make their way back into their buildings. But CSUDH Cardinal, though, running up from behind, catching them out, taking this spacing away from them. That's a knock and a wipe on to Muffins here. You're still leaving Vatari and Jukesy in the equation, but CSUDH Cardinal, they have taken away prime positioning here out from down below, and Arcstar will pressure what I can only assume might be actually probably a late rotation from a different squad here. Either way, CSUDH Cardinal, much to like their predecessors of Purdue in this building, are forced into the corner. Yeah, I was right. It is CSUN. Meanwhile, for Bellevue, dropped by 1 from the Scrim Sabers, and now it is just up to Jukesy to keep them alive in the center position here. We'll see how it goes. 12 squads remaining. Wall out to the west. CSUN Esports Black haven't gotten themselves any kind of purchase, but meanwhile, it could be CSUDH Cardinal finishing the job here. They're trying to extend towards the outside, boost to the low ground. A quick exchange will find very tiny hands down, and for CSUN Esports Black, finished in a pair. UCF Knights, OU, UH Hawaii, Esports Red. None of these squads in it to win it yet. Meanwhile, for Bellevue, still stuck as a solo. I'll be honest, guys, for those of you that bet on the over for the scrim quality, or the under for the scrim quality, you might be wrong. We are already in a damn good position here, and Bellevue's practically dead. That's the best position of all. As I say that, Bellevue descending from the heavens, a rebirth spelled only in faith. All three members back into play here, looking to assault that southern side, get back into that CSUDH building. Meanwhile, Texas A&M Maroon, they've got the Florida Gators right alongside them. It is just a duo. Castle Crasher and YJK here. They're gonna try to kind of handhold and keep this as quiet as possible. There's no way you don't know the Jeff clip. You've probably seen it, just don't know who said it. Yeah, probably. I don't keep up with y'all's fancy spancy memes. Potential CSUDH roster change is the hint for the future. Alright. I'll be honest, you could ask me a million years who's on that roster, and I would not be able to tell you. We'll see how it goes for now. Stuck on the inside of their building, but one of the primary positions of this zone. A couple teams already forced to make their way out on that close. That's why we saw the Florida Gators rotate. But everyone does have a position here. I'm honestly impressed. Every single team, all 11 are in zone. This might be as good as it gets. Illusions taking their time. We will see the UCF squad face one of the first knocks down here in the hands of Scrim Sabers. And that fight could unfurl here out in the center. I'm impressed by Zephyr Cass. I'm impressed by you, Kuzer. This is a quality game! Bellevue already, though, knocks down Sleep King, the first to be removed here. And with a couple of peeks from the low ground from the red squad, Bellevue have to be careful. TO-Rev from R5R. The knock on the other side. Bellevue now once again back to just Juicy and Vattery. A couple of massively whipped shots here from Juicy to start off that exchange. Oklahoma and Texas A&M, the battle between the Red River here. Looks like Texas A&M will be winning it for now as everyone's facing knocks as this zone cripples the rest of the lobby. Scrim Sabers down to a duo. A gas trap from behind, but left with ticks from the other side. Namerime facing difficulties, and as a result, UCF Knights eliminated. Scrim Sabers off to the center. CSUDH Cardinal still in the interior. We'll say goodbye to Bellevue as they lost that house long ago. 9 squads remaining, and CSUDH Cardinal's position is minted in gold. As we check back in with Texas A&M, they are stuck as a duo. A couple of good shots here from Presso on the fadeaway as Texas A&M are a long-range shot down on pair. One single remaining member in the heart of Navarre. You're basically just waiting for the climb up. Missiles coming from up above, and the zone is closing here. I can't imagine either two of these squads will survive. Texas A&M likely the first to go, but for Oklahoma, probably not much better at that. A couple of EVA shots on the other end as the knockdown shield will be wiped out. Navarre to the low ground as Oklahoma are forced to drop in tow here. A mobile shield to give them cover for now. Not much time on the clock. Scrim Sabers from afar. Meanwhile, Hawaii and CSUDH Cardinals, only 2 teams playing that building, look towards R5R. R5R on the outside are in not a bad position of pressure. It's not going to win the game, but we'll see how it goes. Presso down, Pabisi to follow, and shot like the skeet shooting you know and love. OU will be picked from height. Like I said, neither Tamu or OU are going to survive that. We're down to U of H on height. CSUDH Cardinal on the inside. R5R down below. And of course, Scrim Sabers and Illusion all the way out here. R5R is Collegiate Gen G. They might be. Why is Tamu Maroon? Why is it Tamu Maroon and not Tamoon? Yeah. Why is it to white? See how you sound? Alright. 5 squads remaining. It's going to be this big stack between U of H and CSUDH Cardinal that gets especially disgusting here at the end. Scrim Sabers taking this extended position over on the outskirts against R5R to try to put pressure down. Both of these two teams really trying to survive on the outskirts. It could genuinely help them out here because with the zone closing, this building is not going to be in play forever. We'll see how it goes. Zone closes for the first time ever. Scrim Sabers down below in the crook that they've been playing almost all game long. R5R, they're now pressured on the backside here. Scrim Sabers kind of a split attention, trying to hold off this building as well as the distant side all the way over towards the east. We'll see as the Nox Gas Grenade does go a bit wide. Habaneros with a drop on the Teal Ref from R5R for Illusions, the tick of the gas, and the Sheila of above. CSUDH Cardinal and U of HE combined to pressure. Meanwhile, for Hawaii, Kaliki Maka, they'll find themselves in a situation of cracks that will give them their boot. I know what we're doing, but we're deciding to take flight here. Kai to the sky. A couple of ticks of damage will be avoided, but it's maybe not quick enough. The same is almost barely done here for the likes of R5R. UHE up on height and immediately pressured back out from R5R. A massive slam of the castle wall in the zone there, but for Gerald, he is not longer for this world. We'll say goodbye to Hawaii as the lobby unfurls. R5R look for the send, and for CSUDH Cardinal, who have been biding their time in their building all game long. It's a simple, it's an easy, it is a beautiful, mean and greedy cleanup for the game one.
I look forward to getting my hands on you.
Great job, CS, UDH Cardinal.
We have our Apex champion.
On a dub I don't think I ever expected seeing. Goose, Sleep King, and Static there. First place finish. Honestly, very, very good. I was genuinely, you guys made an excellent move to play into what was Bellevue's space, and then you did a great job holding on to it. GG. All right. Let's get the overstat refresh on the board. R5R, though, are the lobby leaders as it stands. It's not how they make it up in their placement, but their KP 18 at that. A beautiful 7, 6, and 5 to spread between Cosmos, Nikosu, and Tiored there. You can see CSUDH Cardinal, with their win, are still 2 points behind them. The Scrim Sabers, in a similar story, their second place finish, at least compare them to 19 and above. Who got banned? That is a great question. There should be a ban here. I was going to say, if we go to the stats on the player sheet, we are sitting at a Valkyrie. Yeah, I was going to say, it should be a Valkyrie right off the bat. It goes Valkyrie, Caustic for legend bans pretty consistently. Oh well. Scrim Sabers are going to at least surpass the likes of Bellevue here. Their 11 KP is oh so but similar, but it's their 10th place finish that really do them in tonight. Shout out to Hawaii. They don't get a lot of KP, but they do survive to 4th, which makes up the majority of their point total here. Not much else to say for the rest of the lobby. Improvements needed to be seen out of the Mavericks, out of the Purdue Black roster. Yeah, sure, these two. I'm explicitly looking for good moves from them because right now, we got to solve Minnesota State Mavericks, guys. I know this was yesterday, but we are going towards match point finals here. I'm worried for Minnesota going into semifinals. Where is it? Hold on. There's D. Where's ECAC? His and hers. External Esports Club. Here it is. Check this out. So, while Cumberland do win that game, we're talking about the Mavericks. They're not bad in ECAC. They have 2 second-place finishes here, but they dropped a fat stinker of a 0 and a 1 in 2 of their games, right? And so today, we are already starting off with, what is this? Yeah, a 0-point game from the get-go. Now, they did face Bellevue. Bellevue is as bad as it gets. Running into Bellevue will always, and I mean always, be a difficulty for any squad. So, either way. Predictions, I asked y'all, over under 4.0. It was a definitive over. A beautiful 8.67. Absolutely incredible. Who is Esports Red? Goth Kewe and Zero Desruts. I'm pretty sure I actually might know who that is. Hold on, let me crack open the Google Drive while we wait. ESU Rose part of CSN there, but their manager had a fit. Yeah. We'll see. CSUN. Here's the thing. If you guys want to see that's the scouting report. Fun fact, this is how I organized the tournament. Right now, we are almost secure and finished. Chef's Kiss and Bochi Desu. Is that Bochi? Actual Bochi? I don't know, folks. I don't know about these two. Either way, they're currently not in the tournament because we don't have enough signups for them yet. But the cool thing about this is here's a list of every single person in Octane this semester. So I can go, who is Kewe? Okay, nobody. Who is... The word Constitution was thrown around? What? What are we talking about? Who had a little shit fit? Hey, if there's one person that wants to play in this tournament, you can swap them with me if you want. No! Elixirs, you're playing in the tournament. You don't get to choose anymore. You're playing. Don't make this more chaotic for me than it needs to be. You signed up. You're playing in the game. You get what you get, and you don't throw a fit. All right, well, I don't. Oh, right, I have their names right here. Zero Diz Ruts. Zero. No. All right, whatever. Good enough for me. Boop, boop, boop. That's the standings for now. At large. Let's jump back into game. Let's jump back into game. I have lost game feed. Huh. All right. This is a tough spot to be right now, folks. All right. I'm going to go back. I'm going to do the little BRB screen. Or, yeah, you guys can take Lewis Cam. I don't know what this might be. Heard getting picked in the second round of the draft. Whoever's hosting needs to get off of West Asia servers. I don't know. We'll see. All right, BRB. I'm gonna try to figure this out. I will be right back. You guys can enjoy Lewis while we wait. gosh. I thought I pressed the mic button. All the way over there. All right, well, we're already accelerating twice as fast this time around. I didn't get to do a prediction before we jumped in this game because I am oh so but silly. As a result, we're pretty much already done and dusted for a good chunk of the teams, and with Bellevue still in the lobby, that tells me I don't think we'll be slowing any much. A couple 300 ping. Yeah, we'll have to see how the lobby develops here because I'll be honest with you, it already might be looking chunky on my end too, and that's the worst place to be. CSUDH Cardinal are winners from game 1, making their way down from the barometer height to make a move here. Could also be just looking to make a move. A couple of shots around the back and a drop onto USU's God means that they are more than capable of searching for fights where they find. Number drop onto Kethwick down there. And for Esports Red, seems like we're finishing the job at that. Who are you coaching? Lawless is coaching God. God himself. The Lord, the Savior, the Jit, the man, God. UVU Black versus the Florida Gators. They'll come out of the swamp here to look for a job. Ultimates in the corner will find barely a bit of purchase here. Up to the roof in a couple exchanges. PK for PK on the pump will lose out on one. Castle Crasher just as quickly. And for the Florida Gators, it's the fadeaway onto Schmiggles that keeps the dream alive. YJK 1975 just trying to keep this one at least good for now. Here's the full reset onto Schmiggles here, and it is a 3v1 situation. YJK 1975 is on that altar, so he's going to try to get the port play out. I can't move? I don't run these servers, but I'll tell you what, they're looking potentially just as bad for me here coming off a game. Try to play into this one, and we'll say goodbye to Florida in the meanwhile. They weren't getting out. Meanwhile, Scrim Sabres, the next game of attention here. Bellevue trying to push into the... What can you say? You got caught jerking it in the corner, and that's all but it. Scrim Sabres are separate here, all the way towards that western side, cryptically out towards the west. Couple of shots out far, and I mean, just trying to get those banners crafted here in Pylon. Doesn't know that they have a distinct advantage in terms of getting this craft off, but you know what? They're going to have to fight for it whether they like it. Cryptically back here with the teleport to play towards the edge. A couple of Arc Stars should allow... This should be enough time for Zero to get this respawn off, but you got to go for it. Move and make it happen. This is looking like One Punch Man Season 3 beginning. Yeah, I'm kind of with you on that. Man, I'm not even getting my alerts. Love rev jumping and being in the air for 10 seconds and waiting 5 seconds for my flatline shot. We've made our way to the Asian servers, apparently. Either way, Illinois State Redbirds will be done and dusted here by R5R, as it looks like Bellevue University have turned their attention against the St. Clair Saints. They're gone. They're gone. They were barely alive for half a second here. University of Hawaii tried to see if they can sneak into the equation and play off of a third party, but it's really not much better for them. Instead, gonna have to rotate back to the portal play, and let's get a little less map. Couple of shots here. UCF Knights go through Siege down to their final moments. You can see Texas A&M Maroon rotating out from the height. Aggie's going to try to see if they can set themselves up for success here, even as far as they are from zone. Scrim Sabres were unable to get the banner reset. We saw them try to play into this towards the edge of Pylon, and instead, they find OU just alongside them here. Presso, Interceder, and Pabizi. A 3v1 exchange that they really just don't want to take. I thought you played for them. I remember died for something huge semifinals practice. Hey, Castle Crasher. I know the quality may not be good and the ping might be chugging, but that first game, the height of the game quality was not bad here. We go a little bit less on the ping. We're in a good driver's seat, I'll tell you that. Either way, Esports Red, they've got what could be 3v3 exchanges to start off here. Already a drop from Presso all the way up on height. Couple Clicks and you'll miss it. Mobile shield and trying to take space with the gas trap here. Ticks for tick for tick. Boom! Drop back in response. 2-2 chain for Esports Red. It is an immediate follow through from up on high. OU's not much healthier at that, but Pabizi can cover. If I was Pabizi, I wouldn't be healing in a half basket here. I would just be making it an easy cleanup. OU gonna see if they can stick that res with Pabizi on the Newcastle here. Interceder doing a great job to play the corner. Basically just walks right into the muzzle there. Oklahoma finishes the job, and in the end, they still have distance to go. Texas A&M now walking into UVU Black pair. Trying to space this out. Step by step. Couple of aggressive shots already from the other side. And for Texas A&M Maroon, they got to figure out how they want to play into this here. Nabber on one side, slowly across. That's the Mad Maggie break, and that should be enough here. Covering one foot of the rotation. UVU Black are now stuck in the building with nowhere to go. The Sparrow ultimate above the fence line on the first one, but misses the second. Either way, the walls alone will prevent them from getting the climb out. Nabber with the double jump back up to height. As the port play might have gotten UVU at least the duo to safety. It's a full thirst on blank. 2v3 for their future. Texas A&M Maroon gonna have to make a drop here sometime soon. Thankfully for them, that building out ahead of them is alive. Take a look at the edge of zone. UCF Knights, not in it yet. Meanwhile, Bellevue, the best team in Collegiate. The #1 team in all of Collegiate right now. They never fail. They never falter. They never fuck up. Here comes Bellevue University up on high. They're going to try to choke out this team step by step above them, and we miss it. We didn't even get to see it. That's how fast it occurred. Literally gone like that. It wasn't a fight. I can't describe it as a fight. If it was a fight, there would have been pressure. There would have been pushback. All right, Bellevue University up on high ground here for this zone. Typically can work out really nice from that southern position. You get a lot of love. Meanwhile, UVU Black, we see what might be their final moments here. R5R extending a couple of shots, and Texas A&M Maroon will lay it back a bit, but Cosmos does at least get the 2 KP on the other side here. Meanwhile, R5R, you're going to have to pour it out of this one, right? Get yourself set back up as the remnants of these teams are in launch pad for the boot here. Southeastern Blue from Oklahoma playing Red Room. Hawaii up above, and for Bellevue, on to the next fight, on to the next foe. Vattery and Muffins will lead. A couple of gas traps force Vattery down to the low ground here. Port for port plays behind the castle walls. Bellevue are separated. Vattery does not have a way back up into this fight. It is a dump and bump from Muffins on the edge of that castle wall there. Only 54 bullets in a single clip to go. But Juicy is always ready and waiting to cover. A quick climb back up from Vattery as the Newcastle res has to come through when it counts. But Vattery is leaping forward to send you packing. A single remaining member cracked out and away as Vattery and Juicy come to play. CSUDH Cardinal going from winners to losers. Down to the low ground and down and out. 9 squads remaining, and it looks like Oklahoma will be joining the gray screen soon here. R5R from multiple angles with OU. Look, nowhere to go. A couple of full thirsts there. Cosmos doesn't have the clip size to spare, but the altar teleport is just ready and ready. Nice drill from the other angle, and I mean, you're just barely, there you go, putting it together. Oklahoma, Boomer, Sooner, gone. R5R up north, Illusion, Scrims Sabers, and University of Hawaii towards the western side of Launchpad. Something to boot with Bellevue, by the way. Sometimes we see a definitive end towards the southern side pole where you get a little bit of that height towards Devastated Coast. This time, we're going Launchpad direct to get the building split, right? You got the southern building, the northern building where it takes up the zip line, and of course the POI itself. For Bellevue, they've made their way towards this central spire. They're going to fight it in piece by piece. Southeastern, not far away from them right now. Couple nades and a little bit of a heal. Southeastern Oklahoma is going to have to take their time on this exchange. They're already losing out on a bit of that cover there, and you can see Ideas and Myoglobin almost the shield's broken and gone. We'll take our time. 2020's in hand. Scrims Sabers finished off by R5R. He got a 14 stack up here. Illusions up on high. Charge rifle in hands. Anthem there, but Sweet Pea and Daxon gonna have to take just as much time to play for these resets as Texas A&M. They were the ones who got that knock. R5R has smelled out Southeastern, and they smell dirty and dusty. Out to the low ground. A knock onto Avery. Myoglobin to follow. Idea's just as quickly here. And for R5R, they make the exchange look impeccable. 6 squads remaining. Southeastern Oklahoma. Now a quick teleport here. B2020's point blank from Cosmos. Bellevue don't even get to react. A follow through, Spelt in gold. Fleshbound for Dukesy. It's just Bottery down below. And R5R obliterate the Bellevue Braves. Or the Bruins. The Bellevue Bruins. Oh my God. All right, we got R5R, Purdue Black, Texas A&M Illusions. Texas A&M already with a double drop. Little bit onto Hawaii, little bit onto Purdue. They are very split there out on the northern side. They have to be careful, but Illusions doesn't have that much space to really punish them there. They're going to extend across the other end because they find Swifty with nowhere to go. Anthem is low, and that's going to be the full commit. Swifty down the gas trap from the other angle. The rest of the Tan Raggies have come to coverage, but just as quickly as I say that, they lose out on Pear. On the exchange, and Pear's going to be full thirsted. I don't know why Texas A&M was so split apart here. It just felt a little dumb. Naber's going to jump out to the other angle to try and finish the job. Plays off the double jump, but remember that port play was going to give them their safety whether they liked it or not. If I'm Naber, I'm grabbing these banners. Just very quickly dip into zone, get a little recovery. Same for Pear. There's 5 squads remaining, and maybe one of them had the Moby. Anybody? Oh, we're taking on the edge of that gas trap, and Naber almost barely goes down there on the gas trap. Meanwhile, R5R versus Illusions on the recovery for Illusions. We can barely say it's at that. They're already choked out. Dax, the leader of this roster, pressured out. R5R, maybe not much better himself. Shot in the backside, just barely doesn't get to that portal in time. Meanwhile, Naber tries to defend for their life, but in the end is unable to do so. Illusions close, R5R in the outskirts, and you would hope someone finishes them off, but no. R5R likely able to get that reset. Illusions does not want to commit to it. If they try to extend the rotation away, they're going to get shot in the back from Hawaii or Purdue. So, Hawaii and Purdue, they hold on to their buildings, and R5R gets to have a very easy, and I truly mean this, a very easy reset. You can see the shots coming through from R5R now. Hey, Zephyr, are you winning? I'm not playing. I'm not the guy who plays. I'm always winning. My goat, I'm always having a great time. All right. I'll hold off on the Rubik's Cube. It's addictive. Like I said, look at this. Tiorek, Cosmos, Nikosu, an immaculate, and I truly mean this, immaculate reset there. It should have been punished, but no one really had the clarity. Shitty-ass server. Yeah, hopefully the next one's better. You can see on our end, it's not quite either. Darquisha with a knock onto Sweet Pea, and that'll leave just 1 for Illusions. For Purdue Black, it doesn't get much better themselves. Point blank in front of R5R. Trauma, Waukee, forced to play on the edge of the red room to get these revives off. But it should finish in a straight 3v3 against the 2. Sheila's out here for the likes of Hawaii on the other side. A 3v3 with Purdue on the low ground. I mean, I'll say this. Purdue will be finished, so now it's just a straight 3v3. And Hawaii, a true collegiate roster, finished the job. They'll pressure Cosmos off of height. Castle wall exchange there, and it is just the one. Nikosu looking for the rotate around the back, but just as quickly, going to be dropped by the Sheila. A full commit from the other side. Cracks to follow soon as the port from the other end. You're in the cross-pollination of the bullets will find knock for knock. And a dub for the Hawaiians. Hey, I'm always happy when the collegiate team wins out, all right? It could be CSUDH Cardinal. It could be Hawaii. Congratulations. Game 2 dubs for Hawaii. All right, let's jump on over the scoreboard while we wait. Here we go. Woo! All right, coming off of that game, R5R, we're in the lead, and I'm going to guarantee it. They're still in the lead. Game 2, they walk away with 32 points. Whoa. Hooah. That is as bad as it gets there. University of Hawaii, even with the dub, it's really only that last piece of KP that they get to walk away with. Not much more to say there because the rest of the lobby, they don't even get KP themselves. The next closest is a team that finished in 6th place, Bellevue. 14 KP. We got to see the Bellevue roster completely clean up the entire south side of the map there. 17 points will continue to put them on top. You get Purdue and Tamu Maroon to round out the end. As we take a look at the overall scoreboard, there you go. Both of the teams, there you go. Both of the teams that have won CSUDH and UHE varsity in 3rd and 4th. R5R are currently leading, even though they have not put up a win. It is the 41 KP that sets them apart. I love non-collegiate teams and collegiate scrims. It is tough. It is tough. As a result, I'll tell you what, Bellevue there with 30 points, 27 to make up the difference. Their placement has been abysmal today. If they had the same fury as R5R but weren't dropping the early knocks there, it would be a completely different story. As a result, your top 5, R5R, Bellevue, CSUDH Cardinal, the University of Hawaii varsity, and then, yes, another non, Scrim Savers, Habaneros. Actually, no, Habaneros, name or rhyme. These are collegiate players. At what point we just say run 19 teams and get them gone? It's not a bad idea. It's not a bad idea. Depends if the quality keeps going down. I'll tell you what. 5.28 average is still slightly higher than the rest of the usual scrims, but you could see it there. They did tank us just a little bit. I am maybe potentially biased towards it just as much here. I like a little water. I like a little water in my water. 19 teams versus Bellevue. Here's the crazy thing. Bellevue isn't even that dominant today, guys. If you take R5R out of the picture, we're in a situation where it's Bellevue 30, CSUDH Cardinals 27, and Hawaii 26. But, I mean, you guys saw it. It was R5R that sent it. FPSA there says, check your DMs. Fuck off. What's wrong with you? Here you go. This is what FPSA there just sent me. Spooky. Thanks. Appreciate it. Okay. Yeah. Bellevue are required to play, right? They are required to play scrims. Did I see that? I did in fact see that. Thank you so much. You're the GOAT. So. Put them in open lobbies. Pretty much all scholarship rosters are required to practice. Yeah, that's pretty much how it always goes. Yeah. Put them in Bellevue doesn't have a choice. Bellevue has to compete. If they don't compete, that's how it goes. Bellevue more like Bellevued because past tense or something. Amazing. Come to UVU, chat. No scholarships, but it's like 3.5K a semester without FAFSA. With FAFSA, it's maybe like 1K. All right. All right. Pobix doesn't want to be a captain anymore. What are we doing? What are we doing? Oh, I need to look at the draft thing because I don't think my boy has updated the sheet. Where is Slasher? Let me see. Scouting report sheet. Did we update the sheet? No. We have not updated the sheet yet. Slasher, you got to add in those 3 picks. What are we doing? You're letting people think they can get away without signing up right now. Come on. Come on. You got to add blank, Crumpenthorpe, and Iffle Cakes. I did tell you who to add. I pinged you in my server. I'm your wife too. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Oh, I was looking at DMs. Yeah, check your things. I ping you. Yeah. Did we switch Theozen and Jack? Did we do that? Yes, we did. All right. I think everything should be good. Also, did Jack get like an actual rating? What is Jack rated? All right, he's 24th in the pick. That sounds about right. Hold on. I have to tell Povix. Where is it? Where is it? Are we in game yet? Oh, we are in game. Oh my gosh, look at the little disconnect up at the top right. What is going on today in the lobbies? I love Apex lobbies as much as the next person, but my lord. Lewis awake? No, Lewis is asleep. You can literally see him right there. Sleep. He's a sleepy little guy.
Got that promotion, but the upgrade will be clutch. Got an upgrade. Moving out.
Alright, hold on. We gotta make sure Fortnite knows his place real quick.
Reached a new level. I've got an upgrade waiting. Got my upgrade. Let's see where it takes me. Keeping watch over there.
All right. Well, a couple of long-range shots from Black to start this one out as the servers continue to crap here. Schmiggles will get the long-range knock onto Southeastern. We'll pray we'll see the rest of them. I mean, at least find their way to the death on the slideshow. There's the Mad Maggie Jason. We are in love with Apex Legends. Nkosu got a double knock drop onto Tamu. I'm not happy. I don't see it happening, but I ain't happy. And as you guys can see, this is slideshow 1, 2, 3. Oh my god. My ears, Lord. Alright, the servers might have just plunked back in. Don't wake Lewis up. Lewis is a baby. We'll get the re-knock onto Southeastern for now. Shots from the other side. We're literally playing off of reset, picking up the pieces. Southeastern, we bumming off. Should I add Zeph, Apex, and Bochi Desu? No, because they don't make it. It has to be a perfect 3. So until we get perfect 3s, no. Also, I don't think I'll ever let Bochi play. That guy's probably a cheater. That one arcane scene. Man, this is bad. Hey, let's just stay on one side. Alright, well, winners of last game, University of Hawaii, they are setting up a L and a handbasket and a half here. Castle Wall. Oh, Munster called out yet again. Oh, that's a flash. Can we get Lewis POV? Lewis POV is right there. It's right there, Limbo. What if you put Lewis big and you small?
Ultimate accelerant here. Ultimate accelerant here.
Look at him, he's yawning. He's just yawning. Alright. Bellevue, by the way, they've found the likes of Scrims Savers here not too far away. There's Namer Rhyme. No one is pinging me about ping issues, so I think it's on your end, Seth. I would hope it's not. There's only so much I can do. Albeit, it is Apex Legends. Apex Legends is just how Apex Legends goes sometimes. This is how it was in Rank 2. Sometimes you have to remember you're just good enough to deal. You know? That's just how Apex goes. Yes, look at him. Oh, look at him! Lewis is up! Lewis is awake! Hi, Lewis! There we go! By the way, you see, we say goodbye to R5R eliminated. That's the best thing all day long that's happened. Bellevue send them packing in 16th. I sent you a video. Zephyr thought of you with love. I'm watching this over on the side. Why does this remind you of me? Alright, whatever. We'll take a look at the UCSC chop rosters. They might be on the chopping block. A quick swing from Bellevue will do them in from behind the box with nowhere to go. The Bellevue Bruins will put you in ruins. And goddamn, I swear if Texas A&M step into this, if the Aggies step into this and they lose, I'm going to be so pissed. Come on, Aggies. All right, there we go. Crack to start. Nabber and Pear to lead. There's the Mad Maggie ball, but they don't have the identification of where all three of them are. Couple shots out the other side as the Portland comes through. A little distant tippity tap there. And I mean, we are fighting. We are fighting for very little. Saying them will get the drop on the Muffins, but everyone gets the drop on the Muffins. That doesn't really matter. A couple of shots, point blank. Pear in his own exchange here. Take the time to re-heal this out. Remember, it's still Jukesy and Voddery in play. Those are the Demon Duo. Here we go. They found them out there running towards the bench line there. It's a little bit of a crack, and Nabber presses his tactical straight into the wall. Bro shrunk Lewis and lost 5 viewers. Shut up. You guys crack me up. All right, 52 damage. It should be a 2v3, easy as can be. But now the zone is going to come into play here. Ticking damage for both squads on the very, very edge. Nabber's going to try to play this one back out as they will identify some way to gatekeep this. This is tough, though. All right, Tamu Maroon, they let this one stand. They're not going to present a final finish onto Bellevue. And hilariously, Muffins is still in play here. He did not get full thirsted. He did not get full sent. Texas A&M prioritized their rotate. They give up. They drop it. That's all right. Muffins catching a stray? No. Muffins earns himself a stray. 90% of the time. That's just how it goes. Who wants to play Among Us? Aren't you supposed to be coaching right now? Aren't you supposed to be coaching? Could you imagine if you pull up on your coach and you're like, sorry, I was venting. I did not pay attention to the games. St. Clair Saints, part of zone. We'll see how they'll survive. I'm bored. Oh, I'm sorry, Lawless. My apologies. My apologies, Lawless. My apologies. I'm sorry, I wasn't so, they're so bad. They're just eating Storm. Oh gosh, how horrible. All right, Bellevue are finally, unlike your team, into zone. There's UVU finally making their way in from Visa. For Bellevue, let's see where they present themselves. For Purdue Black, they're gonna have to present themselves a little bit of cover. Prominent still doesn't get a response on the time. It is a 2v3 situation against Hawaii, but Purdue does need to heal this one. Either way, a quick peek to height for Hawaii. I mean, we're just a couple of quick ticks here, and you're just one good knock away. There you go. It's not up on height, but it is down below. Chilling Storm is peak C9 strat. Yeah, it kind of is. Kind of is. All right, we'll jump on over the UCF Knights. They take their time. They are not technically in zone, but they do have a slight rotation out towards the west here. 3, 2, 1. I don't know. We're going to drop the nade. A couple 4-4 nades at point blank. We're literally right in the midst of the action. Wriggling Salamander will wriggle his way right into your muzzle. Say goodbye as Florida. I mean, they are down now. One complete member there. Oh my gosh, they were separated. The Gators were out here in the central, and now UVU. Here you go, Lawless. This is the entertainment you've been waiting for. You might have given them some extra info. Who knows? Who cares? UVU Black. Utah has come to play, and not in that way. And I swear, the minute I try to say they're going to do something entertaining, just like that, they're gone. They could care less. Instead, the UCF Knights are going to be looking at what could be this exchange against Florida. And for Bellevue, well, it never stops. Quick re-knock there, and now for the Illinois State Redbirds, you are getting executed in point-blank range. Bottom of that full wipe from the Illinois State Redbirds, Judge and Lex. It ain't much better than that. All work and no play makes Lawless a dull boy. Come on, brother, you got it. You gotta be a better coach than that, son. Bellevue. Bye, Bellevue. The Bellevue Bruins go Boone. Keeps this chase up going as the heel is. A little bit of an exchange there into the ether from Vattery to find the final member of the Illinois State Redbirds. Illusion is trying to gatekeep Bellevue out.
Contact with target.
See how it goes. The UCF Knights here. They themselves not far away from UVU. And I like this. Here comes Bellevue on Illusion. Hey, over, under, Illusion gets wiped here. Are y'all ready? Here we go. Shots back and a rolling thunder from Bellevue. Already missing a hell of a shot and a half there from Anthem. It ain't going to get much better. They barely dodge out on the nades, but Daxon in response. Meanwhile, there's the peek up to height, and it is trade for trade here against Bellevue. Point blank Sparrow ultimate to create space. Sweet tries to follow through, but runs almost right directly into their end there. It ain't much better for Bellevue as, I mean, they are slightly low. They pull this one back for the time being, but if I was them, you already utilized the majority of your what's it called, on illusions. You might as well commit. Yeah, I mean, even still, though, it's kind of far from zone. All right, whatever. Fighting to UVU Black. Here you go, Lawless. Minnesota State Mavericks did take away that position from Florida seconds ago. And for UVU, it's the port play to the inside that will hopefully save them from the likes of Bellevue here. Swifty with a full thirst and the knock as we're getting fighting out towards the east. All these teams forced to rotate and will find themselves, well, with not much life to their name. Rusty is biding his time, but it's Illusions up above, all the way from edge, and now in the fighting success here. Here we go. A bit of a corner dorner. I don't know, we're just gonna try to teleport this guy. Here we go. Sweet pea shot from the buildings on the interior, and Daxon will still get that knock on the Sleep King. Newcastle Res is down in the streets below as shots for a double re-knock down. They will lose out on CT. Meanwhile, even still, Texas A&M and long distance shots have really blistered these exchanges. The majority of that will be picked up here by Illusions, but Tamu does walk away with at least one here. Meanwhile, UVU Black, run from it, hide from it, try to escape or rotate quicker. You will continue to rotate into the likes of Bellevue. But still, Audrey does get hit by that Sheila. She's coming from the other side. The re-knock it for UVU. 2v2. Nothing for Zoo. Bellevue get that own reset going there. Going to use that Sparrow ultimate for a little bit of coverage. 7 teams remaining, and you did get a little bit of cover here in this final zone. OU on the outskirts down below. Purdue Black up on height. Tamu moving to center, and some very, very hefty edge rotations from Illusion and the Minnesota State Mavericks that they're just going to have to do their best with. All right. The Mavericks are in, though, on that next building ahead. It really is Illusions who have the hardest rotate to work with here. If they drop down to that low ground, they run into Texas A&M and the Bellevue Bruins. If Illusions rotates through height, you're in a fight against Purdue, right? They don't know who's specifically in these positions here, but they've got to choose. Obviously, the height is the better decision, but they don't know that. A little bit of dramatic irony of the squad here. If I'm Illusions, your choice is imminent. 1 second to go. Tamu down below now. Are exchanging a couple long-range shots from OU there across from them. We can consider the concrete the Red River. Bellevue, though, climbing up to height here to get a little bit of that scan information. They are going to spell out that southern rotation from Illusion in the meanwhile. Here we go. Vader with a knock on to Purdue's trauma here, and the full send. They're just trying to pick apart these teams one by one. Gaskin, thank you for the like. My go. And I mean, Purdue, you got nowhere to go now. You are done. You are dusted. You are running straight to your end. Vader with knock numero dos, and Newcastle, that doesn't look much better when he's helping your teammate. For Bellevue, a single final remaining member of Purdue stands between them and a successful wipe here. Down below, they've been able to find this one out, but a rate Q away. They'll save you for another day. St. Clair Saints Green, not much better themselves, by the way. Still stuck as a rat as we get the Bellevue perspective of either Minnesota. Yeah, it's Minnesota. There's Minnesota up on the high ground. OU just below them here. Meanwhile, Texas A&M trying to make their own rotation as Illusions and Bellevue sharing so much space in that street market interior. I'm really just curious to see how Bellevue get out of this equation. Getting shot from afar from Minnesota. It's a tough rotate for them to make work being all the way on the edge and in the most stacked position, but if there's any team that can do it, it's the Bellevue Bruins. #1 team in all of Collegiate right now. GC Classic. That's a classic line. That's a classic Wizard line. All right. 14 seconds to go. I will say, of all the teams' positions that I prefer Minnesota's, right? Up on height, longest wall to work with, not stacked up. It's not going to last all the way to the end, and Bellevue's going to have a little bit more precipitous cover. But any fight that Bellevue takes there, if it ain't perfectly clean, you're just going to get wrapped by another squad. So Stone on its final close. A couple of extended tackling shots there. The Minnesota State Mavericks have to be slightly careful. Every single one of these teams is met with instant pressure from the other side, but that's what you get in terms of those extra batteries when you get All right. 7 squads. Minnesota up on high. Speaking just off that peak, immediately punished back. Sparrow ultimate to pressure Smalls into the rest of the team. We'll take a look at a Texas A&M beam from Nabber right across from the edge of this building. If I'm Tamu, that might be your chance to capitalize. Sparrow ultimate point blank against the edge of the castle wall. Get the full thirst onto Papizis. They'll drop another Sparrow ultimate down. It's a perfect chunk of damage and a perfect thirst of the Oklahoma team in 7th here. Meanwhile, for Minnesota, not much longer in this world. A couple of ports will try and kill the Thrive, but there goes to Minnesota and the Mavericks. Bellevue up on height. Illusion somewhere. A single rat from Purdue. Is Alter banned? Probably. Either way, there's going to be the remnants of Illusions down below, picked apart. Purdue tries to commit towards, I don't know what the hell this is, but it's just seconds on the clock. It's going to be Bellevue up on height, Purdue down below, Illusions thirsted, and Bellevue, you're just There's no survivability. There's nowhere to go. It's just a Bellevue done. Low-key, I don't even know what game we're on. That's game 3. And you know what? It's just Bellevue. It's always been Bellevue. When is it ever not Bellevue?
We have our Apex champions.
I mean, they beat R5R. The minute they beat R5R, we should have just been sitting here going, oh yeah, it's Bellevue. So, back to scoreboard. A little quick reset. Scoreboard might not be showing the bans, but I'll look through it. Who's on R5R? That is Cosmos, Nikosu, and Tihore. Game 3 underway there. Bellevue with 33 points. Is it even the height? Yeah, it is. Bellevue with the highest performing game. 21 kills. You can't make it up. I know no one on that team. You don't know Nikosu? You don't know SJSU Nikosu? My gosh, the youngins have finally arrived in Collegiate. Why are we dick-sucking R5R? Vane, we ain't dick-sucking them. They are dominating and in the lead. Here they are, 61 points. Only big difference is the fact that Bellevue, in a single game, they get the wipe directly, by the way, directly onto R5R. And the only difference there is that they come out of that game with 21 kills. They ain't even in the lead, though. I don't know what we're doing. Either way, R5Rs and Bellevue, just a gobsmacking distance between them. Tamu Maroon does at least walk out of that one with a return of a second place, so that's a big jump with 3 placements there. And Purdue Black, a little bit of survivability will keep them high competitive as well. Either way, I mean, it's basically a race for first between R5R and Bellevue. You know, this is my first semester full. Yeah, I know. I'm making fun of you. I'm making fun of you, Koryu. Is Lewis a dog or a cat? It's a cat. It's a kitty cat. Here's the Lewis cam. How old? 3 weeks. Look. Hello, Lewis. Overstat's bugged? Yeah. Don't refresh overstat? Oh, okay. Aw. Just kidding. Do it. All right, I'll refresh it. Up. Overstat died. Man, what is going on today? That's crazy. It's cursed if you refresh. It's Bellevue and it's just the last game. All that it is on the overstat is just the most recent game. Yeah, big stretch. Big Lewis stretch. We're gonna check and see. Pranked him, chat? It's not a prank.
Twisted Minds!
Vane, thank you for the follow there. I followed for Lewis. Yeah, of course you did. Everyone loves Lewis. Well, he's kind of awake. He's not entirely awake. The lion plushie is as big as Lewis. It is. You guys will miss it because I always feed him before stream, like a little bit before. Every time he gets fed and he goes back into his pen, he attacks this little lion almost immediately. He always pounces on the lion when after he's fed. And then a lot of the time in the middle of the night when we wake him up, when I wake up Lewis, or when I go to wake up Lewis for his feeding, he is cuddling with the lion. Like he's sleeping on top of it or under it. What if you streamed earlier and showed us? It would be it would be very, very early. I tend to feed him well in advance so he's not in the way, you know, so he can rest. And also I like to play with him a little bit so he gets a little bit of it active. On my mama, if he did a 10-minute stream showing Lewis being fed, I'd watch. Lewis is a dime. He's a silly little feeder though. He definitely competes with the bottle. He fights with it. You just like food, broski? That's true. Don't let Lewis outside. A hawk would consider him a delicacy. Damn. That is rude. He is tiny, though. For reference, he is literally like, he is palm-sized. He is just a palm-sized little kitty. So, he's just a baby. There we go. Little kick of defeat. There he is. Why you're at Wingstop, I have your location. No shot you're actually there. I'm literally guessing. Is there, speaking of always catching your friend at a certain spot, is there a certain location that you guys are always at? Like, is there a certain establishment that you frequent more than others? Is there just something you just love definitively? Yeah, my day job, minus the love. Yeah, well, what can you do? You got to make money somehow, John. What would you do for a Klondike bar? I would paint a fence. Now, a lot of you would say that's not that big of a deal, but I promise you it is. All right, Lewis is back asleep. Little tick on the scoreboard. We haven't done this in a while. Is it completely broken? Oh my gosh, it really is. We're just barely getting the games put back together there. As a result, we've basically given Bellevue the lead. Actually, there's an art museum nearby I do really like going to. Ah, there you go. Little artsy fartsy love. Here's a prediction. I know you guys love predictions. Over under 9.5 KP Bellevue. Haven't done it in a minute. 2 minutes on the clock. There you guys go. Dude, my face is so itchy. Itchy. There we go. I think. Nope, we've added 2 Bellevue games. Bellevue is now 83 points. 83 points in the lead. They are goated. Remember, folks, I just commentate the things that are already being hosted. That ain't me. That ain't me. Let's jump back into game 4. This is game 4 of 6. And we'll see how it goes. What would you do for a Klondike bar? I don't know. Maybe I'd you don't know what I'd want to do for a Klondike bar. All right? You don't want to know how far I would go for a Klondike bar.
You'd say anything, you run it.
I'll be honest with you. This is probably a niche experience.
Optics here.
But did anyone else discover Klondike bars at a ripe age, and then for like 1 month straight, the only thing you wanted to eat was a Klondike bar? And so you literally would eat like 6 a day for just a month. Just a month. And then you literally never ate them ever again. Because I don't think that's a unique experience. I feel like that's like the average response to finding out what a Klondike bar is. A what? A Klondike bar! It's an ice cream cube that's covered in chocolate, and that when you try to eat it, it just starts melting and just like falling apart. And it's super messy, but it's also just ice cream and chocolate. Oh my gosh, I haven't had a Klondike bar since I was like 9.
We got an enemy here.
Hey, look, UCF on UCF action. It's a hate crime. Oh, there's the Knights. There's them running away. So you just need to eat it like completely frozen so it doesn't melt the chocolate in your hands. But here's the thing. I can't eat a Klondike bar that quickly, right? You know?
Let's go OD.
Can we watch Mavericks fight? If they actually go for it. Meanwhile, we'll tune in to Esports Red. We'll check in with the Mavericks later. They might lose. A couple long distance shots here from the Red squad as they'll start setting up the bench line to play into space here. Not much to say more than that. Let's go look at the Mavericks. Oh, actually no, maybe Illusions is here. Alright, well, Illusions cracking in and we'll jump on over. No? Ah, I forget. We're on like an 8-second delay with the server, so I keep messing with them. Alright, here you go. One of the few days we can actually see what the Mavericks are up to. Speed Demons v Gravity. They got the knock on the Castle Crasher there from afar. There's the gas trap, and they're going to try to assault upon the building while we wait. Yo, how is your name pronounced? Zephyr, like a heifer. Gas for gas here. The Minnesota State Mavericks are back in it. Smalls does get that re-knock, but it's at the trade of Speed Demon. A beautiful return to height there, and for the Gators, they'll be back down to the slot. There we go, down towards the southwest. We'll tune into Bellevue versus Texas A&M. A little bit of some revenge action here, potentially, or even maybe just an early exit. Naver dropping the Stinger Bolt down there for a place of survivability, but it's Cosmos from R5R coming in here, a third party from the roster. You gotta pray that Tamu gets their way out of this one. Pear and Swifty are tight for health here. See how it goes. Looks like Pear did at least make it towards the southern side there, so a little bit of a crafter, and they should be back into it. Meanwhile, for R5R, really not much better than themselves. It is literally just Nikosu. And so, children, as a result, it is the Bellevue Bruins. Here again to ruin your day. There's the full thirst onto Cosmo, and with that, he is trying to suss out that final remaining member in Nikosu here. There you go. He's got him on him. Hook, line, and sinker. He is slow, though. He over-contest this against Nikosu. That'll be it. Down and over to the side there. Leaping into the ocean. Oh. Ooh, it wasn't even a question. It wasn't even a question there. That's it. They'll send R5R packing. Second game in a row for this roster. We also say goodbye to OU in the meanwhile. So no Oklahoma. They had a great turnaround last game. Can't say the same this time around. By the way, I'm going to check the Scrim standings here. Nope, still broken. All right, I think the score is going to be broken all day long today. Potentially. Is it? No? I think it got fixed. Yes, it's fixed. All right, Scrims overstats fixed. We'll check on that later. My itchy nose can only defend so much here. What would you do for a Klondike bar? I don't know why that's stuck in my head.
Survey beacon over there.
Well, here's the thing that always happens in the city. Nothing, right? A lot of the exchanges that take place in this POI are usually from a long enough distance that you're just not going to contest an actual fight. CSUN, UCF Knights, the Scrim Savers, it just doesn't matter. So we'll jump on over to UVU Black versus CSUDH Cardinal. Winners of the first game of the day, CSUDH Cardinal, have not been able to replicate their success. You can see UVU flying by here in the equation. There's Goose, Sleep King, and Static, though, playing for their own setup. As UVU are out towards the western side, they're just not going to fight each other. It is as slow as it gets. Neither or any of these teams are looking to take it metal to metal here today. And it is a southern finish, so Bellevue, UCF Knights, Texas A&M, a massive zoom in for no reason. Esports Red and Chop are still not in. My boys love their storm damage of ship killing. That's right. You made it point blank to zone, and you're still tanking damage in zone. Let's jump on over to Bellevue because they are always in a situation where they're going to be playing for the fight. Muffins, Vattery, Juxi looking to take the height here. A little bit of a climb up from Juxi as they try to just barely set them for the zip line up there. Very tiny hands, pressure back, and the drill for drill will pressure them for now. There's the back on the outside. That's going to allow them to get the height here from any one of these angles. Just as quickly as they try to hold on there, you can see the camp already low. Flesh found in the first drop found here. Vattery with one, and for Bellevue, a PK for 77, 44 in the follow-through, and Vattery is unstoppable. The drill takes it back on the fadeaway Shabugaloo. Haya is brought down. A single remaining member of the CSUN squad is respected a little bit there. Vattery will go down after the exchange because of the lack of help, but there's no one here anymore. Neon Square is empty. The city is quiet. 15 squads remaining, and Bellevue get the 3v3 secluded and forward. Now, typically with this zone in draft point, every single time we like the height, right? We love this little diagonal road is so good for these end zones. Not this one where Esports Red are playing, all the way over toward the south side. A beautiful, by the way, beam comes off there. Nice Sparrow ultimate to follow. The only question is, do they have the way to cover the distance? I don't think so. With no way to jump across there, I mean, a couple Sparrow ults extended in return. I mean, it's basically meaningless. They're going to be able to get themselves set back up here.
Get up. This way.
Here comes Bellevue, rotating from behind. They'll walk right into Esports Red, though. In the meanwhile, we'll say goodbye to UCF as, Bellevue are now just literally 1, 2, buckle my shoe, 3, 4. How about some more? They don't get those kills because they're getting targeted. Oh no, Bellevue ruins. Bellevue, once again, kind of misses out on that exchange there. Juxi will inevitably get the drop down on Gerald. That's not even who they're fighting against. Meanwhile, for Purdue, chased out in their own way. It is blank all day here from UVU Black. There you go, Lawless. Here you go. Into zone, into the fight, into the equation. UVU Black no longer playing the fight. We already saw one UCF squad go bye-bye. How about another? Kai with the knock from up above. And Bellevue ain't much further themselves here. Just as quickly, though, Hawaii is doing a great job in holding Bellevue back from all the way up on height here. They did lose out on one a moment ago. We'll see how they might exchange a beautiful, beautiful Sparrow ultimate on the interior there. From behind the castle, or the knockdown shield. I'm just going to try to stick the reset. That's it for Bellevue. Out in 13th, and with no R5R in the lobby either. Guys, we are looking at a full collegiate finish here for the likes of Game 4. Game 4. I feel like vomiting. Either way, Tamu Maroon, they just... Everyone's kind of already run away from this fight, so they're not going to really get much KP, and instead, Pear actually taking a little bit too much. UHE combo, maybe Minnesota State Mavericks on the extension there, and whoa! Now, I still do like the prioritization towards that little bit of height on that bridge down south, but there is so much of the north of this zone still in play here. Even still, I like that bridge. If it does rotate and bounce back all the way towards the other side, I would be surprised. It's not impossible, but it is not the commonality that we usually see from this zone finish. Usually, right here, UVU Black. This position is worth its weight in gold on most of these zone finishes. The only worrisome thing right now is the fact that we are catering so far to the north here. And so what might have been good might not last for long. UVU Black out for a hold of height, as you can see that deeper rotation from Hawaii out to the other side from the scope. Meanwhile, looks like Illusion is getting into it with SCC. A long-range knock with the ordnance there. I don't know if we'll see the rest of the SCC roster go down. They are stuck in the building down below. The gas is ticking against them. Tick, tick, tick. Illusion can't really commit to this. They want to. There's the Sparrow ultimate invested on the other side. Sweepy's trying to look for these angles to get the confirmed kill, but there's the big rotation from what I can only assume is UVU to take away this spot. There we go. Full confirmation on Aviez. CSUDH Cardinals removed in the meanwhile, and everyone has a bare position in zone. There we go. Look at this. That bridge, it converts. UVU did not move. Instead, they're on the western side. They could walk this over to where Illusions is and try to take that one away. Meanwhile, teams like the Minnesota State Mavericks, Scrim Sabres, they have to fight their way in. For the Scrim Sabres, they're holding on for dear life. Shot from Tamu from afar, and Minnesota in the building. They're going to have to play this one a bit smaller as a gatekeeper on the edge of zone. Meanwhile, Minnesota, not much better themselves. 58 seconds, and they have to look for an exit. Sadly, the Sparrow ultimate just a little too fat. Doesn't allow them to get some pressure on that central spire. Instead, it falls a bit short there on the edge of the gas trap. Remember, friends, got to remove that gas trap. Tamu's going to back rotate behind UVU Black, and that could blossom into a fight here in a second. UVU are way too focused on Illusions here. There's the nade from Illusions. They're going to commit to this, but there's Tamu from the other side. Pair with a knock onto Schmiggles. And now Blank and Badger, they have to make a decision here. Already down to the low ground as Illusions are committing for their own fight on the lower side. Namerheim and the Scream Squad tries to move in and take their position, and they'll find a singular knock at that. Gas exchange. To get that full thirst, might commit to the revives here. Here we go. Habaneros down, and they could take Scream Sabres out of the equation. Tamu Maroon, we saw them follow up on UVU, and now they're going to be gatekeeping the height here from all these teams. They found UVU down below. A couple of days extended, and Bear has decided to admit a full drop from the roster. Cracks on cracks, and Naber will go down in the face of a Sheila here. Don't know where Swifty is. Maybe he's holding height. Instead, they miss out on this exchange. This could be the fight. This could be the decision that comes back to bite Texas A&M Maroon. They want the KP, but they give up the place. They'll get that full thirst, but is it worth it here? That's it for UVU. Illusions are still on that halfway point. They are not. No, they aren't right. All right, Tamu gave away the height for Illusions. They're going to have to force Tamu to rotate all the way through the side. Sweet Pea and Daxon still on that low ground. It is just Anthem on the very highest position. I don't know if you saw the complete exit of the Scream Squad. Instead, quick peek on the interior there leads Daxon low in the flesh bound out through the other side, and Swifty catches Sweet Pea in the middle of the re-knock. A Mad Maggie ball right in point-blank range as Minnesota Mavericks are here to play all the same. Daxon, Anthem healing on the other building. Tamu down to just one remaining member in Swifty. Forced to play this out alone here. I'll tell you what. Couple of exchanges with the Sparrows. Tactical will at least find Swifty for about a second. Meanwhile, Southeastern Blue, they're the squad that's moved on to height for now. It looks like Vortex able to get the wingman shot from afar to send Cripples packing. And now Southeastern turn their attention to the edge of what I can only assume is the final moments here for Illusions. Grenades, full thirst on the pair. Illusions down below in that building. Not much better for themselves. A couple teams are in zone here. Southeastern have a slight rotate in, but it's not really much better for so many of them. Holy, hit a bow check shot. Holy, hit a bow check shot. Please, 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 please. Oh my God, drop it. Drop the weapon. Drop it. Drop the weapon! No! Oh my God! Someone get Mild Globin on the phone. I never want to see that man pick up a bow check ever again. Oh my God. Oh my God. That's about as bad as it gets. SCC take no damage in the exchange. They're just going to keep playing for space here. I swear, you're hearing the whip of those arrows go right by you. You ain't got a care in the world. Tamu will be finished off as a singular rat. Illusions may not be much better themselves. There you go. Minnesota up north. SEC in the central building. Southeastern all the way down here on the side. You can already see the drill for Vias paying off big time here, and that's minor damage. Actually, that is not Southeastern. Southeastern somehow went all the way towards the east. They're down below UCSC Chop, so there is a single team stuck in that building next to SCC that we don't quite know who it is yet. Yet.
Let's hustle that way.
It's UHE varsity. All right. There we go. So Hawaii and Minnesota down to a duo, chopped up above with Southeastern below. And yes, St. Clair Saints Green in the building of mean. Someone's dropped the spare ultimate. UCSC Chop is going to flush Minnesota State out here. A little revive coming through from Hawaii as they're going to try to pick up their second dub of the day here. Problem, they've got themselves a hell of a space to fight into. But that next building ahead of them could be good. That next building could really pay big off here. I'll say this, Minnesota State Mavericks likely going to be one of the first teams to go here in this next rotate. The minute they walk out from that corner pillar, you're either walking into SCC. Oh, hey, Mild Glove got the knock with the bow check. Yay! Good job. All right. Spare ultimate from up high. USC Chop gonna hold out all of these squads here. SCC's fighting for space alongside Minnesota State Mavericks. They just got the reset up, but for Minnesota as a single individual member, you ain't long for this world. SCC gonna put in as much as they can against Southeastern because they are about to lose out on their cover. It's not much better for UCSC Chop. I really like this building that I pointed out earlier for the likes of Hawaii. Truthfully, we are going to play out and into the open. Pray you hang on to your castle wall. There's the reset for SCC, and UCSC Chop arrived to take this one away with nowhere to go. You're back up against the wall, and only but a mobile shield. He gets caught by the energized wall. UCSC Chop missed what could have been an easy cleanup there. As a result, it's just Slasher and Callum. A beautiful Sparrow ultimate to finish the job. SCC eliminated. SCC to go. University of Hawaii on the outskirts here, and they are more than healthy. That is a double dub on the day for the University of Hawaii squad. Nice job, honestly. I mean, we saw it kind of coming here. They had a very, very good spot. Hey, Coopster. The Cooper. I think you're the lowest rated person in the draft that played in Octane. Okay, you're not the low... No, you are. Coopster is the lowest rated person in all of the draft. That's how I remember you. All right, let's take a look at the scoreboard. Little quick refresh here. I believe it's a game 13. Yeah, there it is. University of Hawaii with the dub. I asked y'all before we got into it, though. Over under 9.5 KP Bellevue. They don't quite make it. Congratulations. The 10-point dub on the under. That's going to fall the way of Jean there. Jean, I didn't know you were a bettor. Congratulations. Turns out I was the problem on Chopped. Yeah, looks like you had to go. UCSC Chop, they make a little trade. They're Slasher and Callum, and they jump up with 15 points. It's not an explosive win. Honestly, for most of these squads, it really isn't that good. It is kind of a very balanced victory at that, but that's going to allow UHE maybe to jump back up. Remember, R5R was eliminated super early in this roster, and that's why we see the lobby's quality kind of slow down there. Even still, 4.5, 4.45 average. So we'll see how it goes. Get another prediction going. Over, under. We've had 11 for Hawaii. We've had 0. We've had 6. And we've had 0. It is a tight... I don't know how to feel about it. It's a tight exchange. Let's do 5.5. All right. 5.5 KP for the University of Hawaii. Here you guys go. 5 minutes on the bet. Over, under. Get your job in. Congratulations, Jean. OMG points. Good job. You took the under. You were a betting fiend, and you got it there. And now in the overall, we do see a slight return for Hawaii. Even with 2 dubs on the day, this is the difference between them and Bellevue. There is a utterly massive gap in terms of KP. What's even more absurd, guys, is the fact that it's a 20-point gap between them and Bellevue. So their placements arguably should be better, right? 14th, 6th, 13th. Not really. I feel, personally, like there might be a little bit of a discrepancy here with the KP. I'm not entirely sure. Because if you have 63 kills and you have a score of 70, something along the way isn't adding up. Huh. All right, guys, take Overstat with a grain of salt right now because it is being confusing. I mean, beyond what I understand. Either way, we'll rock with it for now. Hawaii, they get a little bit of a jump bust there with the 23 points, taking them from a current 27 to a massive 50. They surpass Tamu Maroon and CSUDH Cardinal, as we do see a little bit of illusion scrim savers. That's the first game, though, for Purdue Black, where they do not finish in the top 3. They go out early in 11th, and that's going to really finally kick them down on the board here. Rest of the teams, not much more to say. We do still have kind of a 3-pronged race here for the top. Bellevue does bounce back and forth, but remember, every single game, they are picking up some level of KP that keeps them competitive in the top position here. So we'll see how it goes. We're going to jump on to the likes of World's Edge one final time. Take a look at the drops before we get into it here. Tamu Maroons in Countdown. They're top 4 right now. The Bellevue squad always starts in mod. Expect them to send it onto some of these southern teams. Of course, the likes of UHE in Survey Camp right there, and R5R in Climatizer. So you do have 3 of the best top 4 teams in Countdown, Survey, and Clima. If we go north, expect to see potentially some fire. Potentially some action here. All right. Let's jump in game. I know Apex was doing a little chunky monkey here earlier today, but has things been looking all right? Is the quality sufficient? Are we appreciative of the different design? It is kind of clunky for us. I will say, I'm gonna have to sit down with my observer, and we're gonna have to try to figure out how to make this a little bit smoother. But I think visually, not be bad. New meta incoming. New meta incoming. I didn't see UVU. Can we get a UVU check? Little UVU check early. On my soul, someone better sign up as Team Lewis tomorrow. I should have been captain to take Team Lewis. There is no team. You don't have a team name in my tournament. No team names in the Zephyr tournament. Wanna know why? Because there's 60 squads, and I have to keep track of all of them. Do you know how Hard that is? You know how hard it is to keep track of all of you when I barely... Anyways, UVU. I don't know if this is new meta, but we're back to Fuse. Pathfinder to replace a little bit of the mobility we see from some of these squads. Haven't been able to keep track of the legend bands with a little bit of the overstat breaking tonight. But I mean, Fuse is Fuse. Job done. It works when it works. 20 squads remaining. The last 2 games of the day to be played on World's Edge. If you're just joining, this is Collegiate Apex Legends. You got teams from all across the country, some notables or familiar faces like Purdue, Texas A&M, right? University of Hawaii, the Florida Gators from Florida. I mean, these are Oklahoma, Boomer Sooner down there, right? So these are no small slouches to the community of Collegiate as a whole, but you'll find out that all that really matters is the Bellevue Bruins. We'll jump on over to Bellevue. They're in their own potential exchange here in just a second. 3v3 as Vatari is taken to height, almost immediately flying down there, and he will run right into the bullets that be. Gotta be a little bit more respectful at that. Quick shield cell on the ream. Let's see if they're gonna full send this. They love, I'm telling you, every single time that Bellevue come into this mod stacks area, They love to choke this out. What would your mythical spirit animal be? I don't know. Probably like something really weird. What's a really loud one? Like a siren? Anyways, Muffins goes down as usual. So it's up to Vatari and Juxi to 3v2 the way they always do. Vortec, Avery, and Myoglobin. Thankfully, this time Myoglobin is not running the bow check. Even still. Apparently, we disconnected. And we disconnected at the very same time. I think Southeastern's internet just died. Like literally the schools. What are your thoughts on Snide Snooty's being the baddest bitch in the galaxy? I do not know what a Snide Snooty is. There goes Oklahoma, just as quick as they can here. Teams like Minnesota for Esports Red. They got themselves a rock and a dream out towards the edge of Fragment there. Playing off of No Name. I mean, they got themselves space to work with to get that zip line moving quite a bit faster. The UCF Knights are coming to capitalize. Bellevue DDoSing confirmed. So true. Look her up. All right, let's look up this.
Covering my sector.
Fine. Snide Snooty is fine. You know she built for a good time. All right. Hawaii. They're built for just as good time as that. A Bellevue Black Gold. That's not what they're called. That's not what they're called. They'll pull away Hawaii for now, but just as quickly. Double flush found on Kai and Gerald. They could be meeting their maker sometime soon. It's up to Ur to hold down the fort here, but it ain't a good hold at that. Rushing point blank. Nkosu will be eliminated. A 2v2 exchange against R5R. That mobile shield's got to be worth more than that. Now in the 1v1, pushing straight into the Newcastle. They'll finish the job and say double dubbers of the day. Hawaii out. Oklahoma server just crashed. Yeah. We're having big struggles. Big struggles today with Apex. Illinois State Redbirds, they're having big struggles with Minnesota. The Mavericks right from behind them inside here. They'll open the door for some reason. Smalls, he's happy to take that trade. Flush found on both sides of the equation. Speed Demon coming for just as quickly a recovery there. There's going to be the full knock on the other side. Gravity protecting it out is Judge. Let's keep the dream alive here. Even still, this is an issue. You've got the third party under wraps, and for Gravity, a chase from Bellevue means you're dead. You're dead. You're dead. All right. Guys, we got to come up with, like, what's some good Bellevue booms? Because, man, it honestly feels like it is all Bellevue Bruins all day long, every day long, forever.
Friends, attack there.
Do we realistically, guys, be honest with me, do we realistically think a team is going to not win that? Do we think Bellevue Bruins, the Bellevue, do we think Bellevue, is there, do we think of, hey, Scrims Sabres, they'll walk right into Purdue Black. Joaquin doesn't even catch that one, and now with the coach reset coming through on the Newcastle, you just have to push forward here. The gas traps, though, oh, so difficult there. Cross the distance, running back up the height. That'll be another Newcastle res. That's will for now. Shot. Sabres onto the second floor, and for the life of all that is holy, Purdue did get these resets. And honestly, impressive feat at that, and the gas, pretty darn punishing. You hear the castle wall on the ready as Purdue have the advantage. They are full health and ready to go. Joaquin rotating to the other side. Point blank, stick with the Arc Star. That's going to be the knock that counts. Big damage back, and you have to ask, where's the rest of Purdue? They peek around the other side for Scrims Sabres, stuck on button, 50 health here, 1v1, a single super success for Purdue. Kudos where it is given, Purdue Black with an incredible recovery in Fragment. Your spirit animal would be a Walper-Tinger. Okay. Walper-Tinger. German, it's said to inhabit the Alpine forest of Bavaria. Something rabbit with horns. What the heck is this thing? Body of a squirrel, deer. Honestly, I kind of look dope. You know who looks dope? Bellevue. That's the transition. Need a bounce? Good. Nice to see you, too. Always happy to have you. You'll miss out on some more Bellevue fun. Here they come. Now, I will say, Purdue has defended this before, and they are always in the position to do it again. Even still, that gas is just disgusting to deal with here. Couple of traps back, and Purdue are holding on for dear life. You just can't let... I mean, honestly, with Bellevue, you gotta stick your thorns out strong. But instead, we walk into Juicy with a 45. All right, well, that's it. It was really cool. Purdue, you made an awesome recovery, but you happened to be located a couple feet away from Bellevue's rotate. So GG. Bellevue, UVU Black seems to be the next closest team. I don't think they'll survive. Couple knuckle clusters out from afar for Bellevue. They have no other desire than to send it here. Couple shots are extended across the border from the streamer building. And I'm just waiting for Bellevue. Don't forget R5R's in the lobby. Not a bad roster. They just have really struggled to get, literally, the funniest thing with R5R is they have struggled time and time out against Bellevue these last 2 games, and you know what? Bellevue ain't infallible. A knock onto Jukesy says as good as it gets here. Still though, I mean, when you've got Muffin Stinger Bolt doing half the damage for you, it doesn't really matter. Now Florida coming just as quickly here to see if they can third party. That's 153 from behind the stairwell there. Muffin's strong blow. It's up to Vattery to play it like it's ranked. Levi trying to stick this one out against the edge of the gas here. And maybe that was enough of a threat to push them back. A peek around the other eye as Bellevue peeks down to the edge. That's Castle Crusher eliminated. YJFK and just one remaining member. Trap for trap, 81 found. And I mean, you're begging him to peek a little bit further here. Goku Siege will ultimately find Wriggling Salamander on a off-cuff rotation out towards the east. And that will be their final moments. But Bellevue does an immaculate job taking that in a what was ultimately 2v3. Can we even say 2v3? It was a 1v3. Because they didn't... we had Muffins kind of just sitting there playing behind the knockdown the entire time. It was just Vattery going absolutely crazy. 9 squads remaining, and there is plenty of space for every team in the lobby. The UCF Jets, Illusion, CSUDH Cardinal, and SCC Green are looking for a setup here. Couple of disconnects on the network as I like the window feed, but Sweet Pea doesn't get the fadeaway on the drop. Not much more to be said at that. Let's see how it goes. Peak or not, he still needs to make a decision. 1 minute to go and it should be fine. Meanwhile, Bellevue, a knock on Kehui. There's going to be a full thirst there. Bellevue with another knock on USU Dogs. Let's go watch Bellevue. Bellevue time. All right. Yay! Look, guys. Full send, Esports Red Dead. Bellevue, full send onto another team. Here comes Jukesy. Is he a little meme? No, he's our 5-5-5 misses out on that exchange. There's a mobile shield. Tries to get that gas trap down. It's a little bit of damage. Honestly, more people, I'm gonna say this right now, more people deal damage to Bellevue with their gas traps than they do with their bullets. That is about how bad it gets here. Now, little response on the Muffins as usual. That doesn't really mean anything for Bellevue typically. A peek from the other side from Juicy with pressure back. 7-2 and a reset with the 45. Just as quickly means you are done. You are dead. Goodbye, Anthem. There we go. Little, ooh, very nice grab lift from Juicy to delay what should have been a push out there on the exchange. Quick thirst onto Anthem. Zep, I killed the creature that was living in my wall. Congratulations, you are the true monster hunter, Swanky Scrims. See, it's been a while. Honestly, fantastic. Cheating, to be honest, you know? Could be, guys. Honestly, you think if every team, do you think we could? What do you guys think? What if like just for the memes during Premier Match Finals, we were like Bellevue, and like all 19 teams started their game by going and killing Bellevue, like just ganging up on them. Anyway, UCF Knights, we're trying to hip fire through a window there. Muffins will get the knock, and the full push for Bellevue means we're ready for more KP. More KP! A quick Sparrow ultimate means you cannot rotate. For the UCF Knights, what are we doing? What are we doing? All right. Bellevue now defending against the quote-unquote third party from the other UCF roster. The Knights have fallen, and the Jits come for revenge. There's the break onto the Newcastle down below, and Bellevue are basically smelling blood in the water. The Sharks, the Wolves, whatever anthropomorphic being you want to point out, they've come to play almost instantaneously. You're not. Couple exchanges around the back there. Hold in space, utilizing the barrel ultimately just as quickly as they peek. It's another instantaneous elimination for Bellevue. The Bruins put the lobby in ruins here. SCC, UDH Cardinal have managed to dodge out. And for Tamu Maroon, they've got themselves actually a legitimate challenge here against R5R. All five of these teams have survived in the top there. Tamu Maroon will just barely dodge out. Instead, it's a nice extension from Nkosu there to get the knock onto Nabber. Big losses down. We are, first, what are we doing? For some reason, we're playing up in the air, and it's a absolutely trash decision at that. A full send around the back, and it's a beautiful beam with the car to drop Care in the memes. Heels coming through from Nkosu's. Cosmo is low. The grab lift will pay dividends here, but just as quickly as I say that, it is a nice knock from Jukesy. If I'm Tamu Maroon, you see the pressure. Pull this one back. Drop to the low ground. Play for a couple resets while you have the chance. Bellevue are quick, though. They are trying to assault on all angles. Shout out to SCC. They finished the fight against CSUDH. Meanwhile, for Bellevue, we're just gonna kill Tamu now. All right, there's Pear. I don't know where Swifty went. You have to imagine he is somewhere fearing for his life. Nope, not much longer. All right, last fight of the night. No R5R, no Tamu. Here's SCC trying to step to the metal. No one wins with 3v3. Here you go. You literally point blank, early damage found on the Zippy. Like I said, the gas traps do the most damage possible because your bullets don't even find purchase. It's a Bellevue dub. It's a Bellevue dub. It's a Bellevue dub. We might as well call Scrims early, folks. Let's jump back to the scoreboard for half a second. I asked y'all before this game, over under 5.5 KP U of H varsity. They walked away with 0. Congratulations to the under. New prediction. Will Bellevue win the next game? They win it. They don't? Question mark? There you go. 2 minutes on the board. Or actually, fuck it. 5 minutes on the board. Get your bets in. 45 points for Bellevue. Over half of the lobby slaughtered. The next closest is a beautiful, remarkable 6 KP high for R5R. Incomparable. Bellevue blast all the way to a triple-digit score with 3 wins on the day. It is... They make up over a third of their total KP in just that one game alone. Betting the under right now? Coopster, you absolute animal. Wait, what the heck? That's a deep bet on the under. Oh my gosh. Coopster just dropped 1,300 points on the under. I'll be honest with you, Coop. That's a scary bet to take. You got, in fairness, technically, you have the faith of what might be. But here's the thing, it ain't going big, you know. There's no one else betting, you know, against you. You got like 100 points on the line for they win it. So if you lose out, you know, if you win, you don't make that much money, you know. Either way, why did I not get my points for the last one? You should have. They had over 9.5 kills. Bellevue or UH? Because the last bet was UHE. We already did the Bellevue bet. That was a while ago. That was Bellevue last game. Bellevue last game did not get 9.5 kills. So you missed out, Vane. Bellevue, the previous bet was UHE. So we went from, that's not true. It's okay. It is. I know you're not paying attention. Bellevue, 9.5 KP was the bet 2 games ago. When we went into the next one, I asked y'all 6.5, or I think it was 5.5. 5.5 for UHE varsity. So there you go. They did not. I'm only here for Lewis. That's okay. Most people are. Speaking of the baby, oh my God. Look at the little baby. Oh. Dude, look at him. Look at him. Look at him. Oh. Are we waking ourselves up? No, he's just twitching a little bit. He's just a twitchy little baby. Look at his little feet. Look at his little feet. His little foot's just kind of swaying there just a little bit. Lewis, you're so cute. He's so light. I feel like he was darker when we first got him. I feel like his little pattern is really lightening out here. He's got his little mittens and his little stripes. I'm kidnapping Lewis when I come down there for career fair. Good luck. Good luck. Screw internships. Lewis is more important. Like I said, good luck. Lewis is the epitome of my life. You're gonna have to fight me for him. All right? And that ain't a fight you win. Are you guys, I'll say this, are you guys still going to love Lewis when he's big and older? Because, like, right now he's a kitten. It's like, obviously you love kittens because kittens are cute. But eventually Lewis is going to be a hairy old man. And it's like, where's the Lewis love at that point? Are you going to hit a disabled kid? Grap, you got fighting words. These hands, as I've always said, are rated E for everyone. All right, in-game, you're going to have to start another recording on the in-game. It's a black screen. Just do a quick stop and start. I'll wait on Lewis for half a second. His eyes are open. Oh my gosh. Lewis's little eyes are open. Ugh. All right, he's waking up in a little bit. Well, he'll get some dinner soon. Let's jump back into in-game. Final game of the day. One last West World's Edge. One last World's Edge here. I'm going to channel my inner onset in Gaston. I don't know. I can't do a British accent. How much to change Lewis's name to Voddery? $50,000. $50,000 and his name is Voddery.
Evil harvesters are now available.
I was gonna say it's not happening. No one's. I got $5. All right, multiply that times 10,000. Oklahoma, they're taking their time on the back here, and we're gonna look at some more Bozak exchanges. Presso, a little bit more successful than Myoglobin, as we've seen. Looks like for Southeastern. Speaking of the like, Southeastern kind of dominating this fight. Knock for knock. It's up to Vatari playing the Vantage. My man is rocking the Vantage. There's the Newcastle resets as a big rotations coming through. 3 individuals flying in here, and Vatari's got to figure out. Oh no. They found Vatari. Point blank, nowhere to go. Bellevue is the first team eliminated. My God. Oh my gosh. The single under bet. We can already award it. Congratulations. Coopster just got a free 1K plus points. Let's check out Southeastern, because they're the ones that do that in. Coop knew it. That was insane. All right. Florida Gators struggling in the exchange against Southeastern. I would too if I knew how much aura they just acquired. That's it for Wrigley Salamander. And for Florida, I would be running away. Yeah, a couple of shots you can hear up above from Avery. Let's take a look at where Florida may be. Trying to take this one back on height, and they'll face YJK1975. Point blank, Gibby. Most teams, I don't think they care right now. I think we are just hinting it for game 6, folks. All right. There goes Minnesota! A knock into the Sheila, and it is up to Schmalz to take it point blank. Up, over, and around, behind the wall. You'll find your crown. Illinois State Redbirds. Down, down, down. 14 squads remaining on round 1 closed. Do you guys think we get down to 10? You guys think we get down to 10 squads remaining? Zone 2? It might be guaranteed. Purdue is playing a Revenant Horizon Octane composition. We cannot make it even more silly. That's it for Minnesota. Wrapped by the likes of Sloshy from UCF Knights. And for Purdue Black, it ain't much better. Purdue's trauma was caught out down below. Tharquisha and Waukee, he'll pull himself up just a little bit. So here comes the rotate from CSUDH Cardinal. Point blank in a 2v3. Knocks onto Gerald from Hawaii. Not a 2v3, this is a straight 3v3. Hawaii on the other side, and I'll be honest with you, these teams want this game to be over more than anybody here. CSUDH Cardinal just trying to find that final remaining member of Hawaii. Well, I might have to turn around. Got a little pressure from our side. Illusions. We tune into them in their own fight. Down towards the southern side choke there. Full commit from Cameron Maroon. Nabber himself. Texas A&M, they've opted to break out the conduit. An old-time favorite classic from the likes of Pear here. Big cracks from Zwifty from the long range on the 30-30. This should be enough. Another knock on a Sweet Pea, and it is one remaining member for Illusions here as Texas A&M Maroon are gonna keep chasing this one back. Zwifty's got the acceleration. There goes our 5R. We are 55 seconds away from what literally might be 10 teams remaining round 1 close, guys. There's the full thirst down below. There goes Illusions. Can we kill one more team? One more team in the next 40 seconds. This is terrible. This might be a zero quality score. Hold on. New prediction. 5 minutes on the board. Over under 0.2 quality. Over under. There you guys go. There's your next bet. 0.2 quality score for this match. 10 squads remaining on a round 1 close. Half of the lobby eliminated in the very first chunk of the zone. I'll tell you what, it looks like we might be seeing one to join them along suit here. There goes Incroc and UVU Black. They've got him pinned on the edge of zone. A castle wall will defend for now. Badger and Incroc unable to really find bigger purchase down. It's a good chunk of oranges will pressure where they see fit, but Schmiggles takes it back in return. That's it for UCSC Chop. UVU Black now going for the full send with the advantage to their name. Done and dusted. CSUDH Cardinals join the gray screen. 8 squads remaining. The Jits, OU, TAMU, Purdue, Scrim Savers, UHE Varsity, who are just barely put back together after what was almost an initial loss. Is this game 6? Yes. Here comes TAMU Maroon to potentially take us down to 7. A 3-2-1 goes awry there. Big commit on Nabber from the Sperro Ultimate. That's going to force him down to the low ground. Sliding out and away. Well, that Revenant, you're about to learn why this composition doesn't get a lot of mileage here. No more Revenant. The Octane is fast, but is he fast enough? Out and around the corner there. Nabber might look for the chase. Sliding this one back down. He's got info to spare. Continues the chase underway, and that's it for Purdue Black. Nabber, he's going to turn his attention to the next team ahead here. My gosh, guys. You guys think we finished before round 4? Oh, wow. People actually bet on the quality score? Now, let's see how this goes. All right. Stuck with the bow check from behind. I can only imagine that's UHE with a heinous crime. Swifty massively escaping from the exchange. And yes, it is UHE on height here. All 7 teams are officially in zone. TAMU Maroon, you can see, I mean, maybe set up for a return. SCC stuck down below and still the attention of the Hawaii roster there. What's going on in the choke by Geyser? Yeah, what is this? You got the Scrim Savers with nowhere to go here. Let's take a look. I thought it before Scrim started, no higher than 3.7 overall. We might have been right. There's the full extension now and over towards the side there, trying to take advantage of the Scrim Savers. UVU Black. Let's see how they can do. I too love dumping an entire mag into the snow. Hello, Steve. Well, 7 squads remaining, and this is about as bad as it gets here. A black hole goes wide as UVU are going to try to see if they can finish the job. UCS Jits are playing the entrance directly. You can see the escape from Skin Savers on the other side. Here comes UVU, point blank behind the rock. The Tempest out in full form. That's going to allow the Rampage to really sing here. Massive knocks found as 6 squads join us. Meanwhile, Texas A&M, the University of Hawaii, a 2v2, I think, exchange there. Ure is knocked, and they're going to drop potentially right into the face of the St. Clair Saints here. Gerald is right in front of St. Clair. OU's on the other side, and yep, that's it for Hawaii. They walked right into St. Clair. Meanwhile, OU pressured by TAMU, St. Clair down below. I'm donating points. You're donating points. My gosh.
Enemy good.
Yeah, all right. We'll see how it goes. There's a plethora of potential points here on the map. SCC, OU, TAMU, the only ones in zone. The Scrim Savers still, I mean, they should be able to get this revive. Take their time, get the Moby going, get the res on the blue boxes.
Let's go over there.
This is just bad, guys. Well, Zone 3 closed. This is where we would really see things slow down if it does. It just comes down to how aggressive. There's Texas A&M Maroons up on high here. UVU already dropping down the Sheila wall. See if they can pressure them from afar. St. Clair's still playing underneath. This might be over a 0.2. It might. If we continue to slow down here, the swim quality might jump up. Either way, a couple ultimates over in a bar, and I ain't got much to say to y'all. Any team can play for any positioning right now. It's really just going to come down to who into. TAMU Maroon, they might be the first to eclipse that kind of conversation here. Hydrate? I don't have anything to hydrate with. Here you go. Here's a little bit of water left in my Baja Blast from last week. I'll take it. Tamu Maroon fight for fight here. They'll lose on Nabber. That's your primary fragger, but they do get the re-knock onto Schmiggles. That Conduit's extra support passive going to come into play here as Swifty is peeking over and out on the side. Dive and dash with double cracks. There you go. Zip line for the forward pressure. Limbo is blood. I can't. He's just a Will Baboon. Limbo, I will offer you more residual Baja Black. You have literally all the places in the world to choose from in this zone, and SCC choose to hold themselves up into a corner down below the competition. Are we going to think about that at all? Like, is anyone going to discuss that? No? Big Lewis cam? Do you guys just want to say screw it to watching Texas A&M win this final game and just rock the Lewis cam for the rest of it? Do you guys just want the audio cast? Lewis is moving, big cam it. Oh, he's cleaning himself. Look at him go. Look at me. What do you switch Lewis to the big Apex screen and Apex to the tiny cam? You guys are funny. All right. You're kind of cute. You're kind of being cute right now. Look at him being so cute. W car? Yeah, whatever. He rolled over? He did roll over. He missed it. I don't miss anything, you know? I get to see this all day long, every day. Look, he's making himself a little tunnel, a little ball. He's going to keep leaving himself there. Why are we single firing the 301? I'm not gonna lie, watching Fabizi's kind of funny. Amber Maroon, though, maybe a little bit funnier here. They walk straight into a couple of gas traps, and that's gonna stop them for now. Final fight's on the way into the Texas A&M Maroon. This is a struggle of an exchange. Can't control recoil. The 301 doesn't have recoil. What do you mean? If you can't control the 301 at this point, why? Anyways, Scrims Sabers from one side, OU on the other, maybe drop to the low ground here. Tamu's playing for the very, very edge of height at that. Scrims Sabers did push OU off of height, and there you go. Presso has got an angle. Is he going to shoot? No? No. I don't know why! Why didn't we shoot? Some people are bots. After watching him break that Sparrow, I was a bit concerned. There was definitely a moment there where we watched Easy see the Sparrow turn towards it, thing, and then switch his gun. Why are we just watching him? What is this? Why are we just sitting here looking at him? And he's gone! What's the point? Why are we doing this? Yeah, can we get an Anthony Burr in here? That guy makes a good zombie noise. All right, I guarantee you if we go back to check his perspective here in a little bit, he's still sitting there looking at Zwifty. Guarantee it. Okay. Guarantee it.
The enemy is moving in.
Why are they ratting? It's 3 squads left. Why are you ratting? All right. Big rat plays in the Big 25. Tamu Maroon has sussed them out a little bit here. And you can't make this up. Are we going to shoot back? Are we going to shoot back? No. No, we're just going to run straight into them. Little fadeaway, big damage on Nabber, though. Does leave me a bit worried, but I believe he's got the... Alright, well, there we go. Just finish the job, guys. Oh, we're going to drop down. It's up to Pear to get the exchange, but instead he face knocks in claim. Meanwhile, for Texas A&M Maroon, the re-knocks coming through from the streamer squad are going to be dangerous here. Swifties extending all the way out to finish the job, and end of the day, it's a 2v3. Pear slips down, and that will be the difference maker. Cryptically does get a response. It's up to Nabber to 2v1. Habaneros is a lifeline, though, so you're very rarely going to get this exchange. Tempest in hand. Nabber, I mean, he's got dreams, but he doesn't have dreams. That's it. Scrim Savers. I wouldn't say they're saviors, but you know what? They're winners in our final game. We'll jump over the scoreboard. Here's how it finishes out. Here's how the chaos finishes out. It's a Bellevue dub. And, hold on, the quality score of that match was a 0. It was a 0. I don't know why anybody chose anything but the under. Congratulations. Big fat final game 0. This is booty cheeks. Watched a ranked game. Pretty much. Bellevue do win on the day. 115 points there. R5R, non-collegiate practically, but 73 points. Tamu Maroon kind of choked himself out of what could have been a good second-place finish, but you know what? That's all that matters. 57 for Hawaii, even with 2 dubs. Scrim Savers jumps up to the top 5, and that is it. Let's raid somebody. It's time. Let's move on. I'll put the Lewis cam on while we wait. Who should we raid? Give me someone collegiate. Playing ranked, so GG if I don't say bye. Lewis is so tough. 24-hour Lewis. Lewis is so tough. No raid picks, guys. No raid. Bloom Dion is doing it. Could do Bloom Dion. Alright, screw it. Bloom Dion. There you go. Alright, enjoy. Thank you guys for tuning in today. I'll see you tomorrow for... Oh, real quick. I will see you tomorrow for a high school showcase, scrims, and then the draft. You won't want to miss it. It will be absolutely peak. But thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you tomorrow for the big shmoney moves.